Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm so sorry that I'm late. Can you guys hear me? Oh my gosh, I didn't even check the setting. You should be hearing me. Yes. Yes. Whew. Oh, rented identities, and thank you so much for your super chat. Sorry for missing the last Mirai Kaitsu live. I'll also have to watch this one later. Happy Easter. Oh, okay. But that's really great. Like, your support is always, like, I appreciate it so much. Yeah. Thank you. It's so nice to see that you're catching up anyway. Like, it's rare to have such a following. So thank you always. Okay, and yeah, great amount of super chat. Okay, so let's read your comments. I win Yoko Big Brain Manson is in the chat now. Oh, yes. It's Mason, sorry. Great. Thanks for coming out. Hey, all. Great emoji. And good evening, night, morning. By the way, I want to video chat with you about politics, of course, sometime. Oh, okay. I'll think about it. Thank you. Paul Garcia says everyone celebrates Easter except us Orthodox Christians. Haristos Kyokai 2021 Orthodox Easter is May 2nd. Oh, to those celebrating Easter and Passover, happy and blessed day. That's interesting. I'm gonna sneeze. Or not. Okay. Whoa. It's so hot today. Or from yesterday. I'm like sweating. I just took a shower and I'm already sweating. That's not good. Anyway, wow. Yeah, happy Easter. We don't really have the vibe here. Easter. I mean, we know of it, like egg hunt and everything. And I think that the marketing side of the business here started to kind of get that into our business, like, like it's a theme to sell products for Japanese people. Not that's in a spiritual way or religious way. It's just the theme, right? So same for Christmas and Valentine's Day and everything that our companies use that sort of things to market for marketing. And Easter is a new thing for us, I feel. But yeah, true. It's Easter. Cool beans. And it's so interesting that people celebrate on different days, depending on your definition, I guess. So what do you think of the idea of vaccines passports in Japan? Are they doing that here too? It's when I heard the idea, I thought that it was ridiculous, but at the same time, it was so like very smart too, because that's how you do it. Like, it creates a good cycle of your country, right? Like, you get to get people vaccinated by yours, meaning that you get money, and then you get people coming, and yeah, it's very wise. But I don't know what my country is doing. I am not paying attention to COVID-19 stuff anymore. Because it's like, it's never ending, and it's like, I can't do anything about it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really care about that anymore. It's like we don't have the mandatory, but we feel like it's a mandatory that we wear a mask always. It's ridiculous that people walking outside even wears a mask. Like, when I'm walking outside, I just take it off because it's easier to breathe. But people are too lazy to take it off, or I guess the Japanese people care so much about what other people think, like culturally. So probably that's why they never take it off. And it's funny how people's skin is like scratched, and now many people have problems with their facial skin. And yeah, it's silly. Happy Easter! Happy Easter! Yes, it's a big Japanese movie recommendations. I don't watch Japanese movies actually, so I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, my nose. Yeah, I don't. My husband might be able to recommend some, maybe. Oh, but you should watch the. Why is it called in English? I really liked. Oh, you could watch. Okay, I can. I can recommend some. Is it this one? It's about. Wait. 226. What is that movie name though? The 4 Days of Snow and Blood. This is something that I watched, I think. Yeah. I'll share the screen because I'm so high tech. This. There's this. Wait, I think I need to adjust that. Yeah. Can you see? Oh, there's English here. The 4 Days of Snow and Blood. It was good. And also, Fukushima 50 was so good. And this. It's about Fukushima disaster, like a nuclear power plant, and how the guys did everything. And like you can learn what the problem was. So yeah, it's like a society type of movies, but that's all I know. So that'll be nice, I think. But if I come up with something else, I'll let you know. Okay, thank you for your question. Konnichiwa, Yoko senpai. Konnichiwa. Hi from Nashville. Oh, nice. Oh, sorry. Late. Yeah. Hi. Moon is still a communist and needs to go. Yes. I've been to CPAC in South Korea, and it was a few years ago, and I think in 2019. Yeah, I went to South Korea, and I got the opportunity to join CPAC there. And all the people like ACU chairman and executive director, and Sarah Carter, Jean Pirro, and all these amazing people were there. And Gordon Chan was there too. And Gordon Chan is so popular in South Korea because he's so good at his talk. And I remember him saying, "Moon must go." And it's so simple, right? It's 3 words. Moon must go. And the South Korean conservatives like, "Run! Gordon Chan! Gordon Chan!" It was so, it was so enthusiastic. It's such a good time. But it's so great that like we Japanese were there, and Auntie Chan at the time from Hong Kong was there, like a Hong Kong independence guy. He was there, and of course South Koreans and and ACU people like Americans and Hungarian person and Israel person. Like there were lots of like international people gathering there, and everybody was like, "Moon must go." And so it was really good that we bonded, And but unfortunately, though, I feel like South Korea is kind of out of the picture of the international society right now. Like we don't really talk about South Korea anymore right now, especially because like when the election was happening in South Korea, we talked about it, but after that, like the situation got worse, due to the election. However, we're not talking about South Korea. So great reminder. Thank you. I should pay attention. Yeah, say no to vaccine passports. It's a slippery slope for tyrannical government. Yeah, I feel controlled. Yes. Good evening, Yoko. It's after 10 p.m. here in Illinois. Is it Illinois? Excited about your stream tonight today, and happy Easter. Thank you. Happy Easter. What am I supposed to do on Easter? Sorry, I'm not Christian, so not sure. Like all I know is egg hunt. Yeah. But if anything, have our friends in Japan have been hearing about racial violence or racism in the US lately? Sorry if this has been asked before. What we have been hearing is about BLM, the massive, what was vandalize, vandalize. I forget the word. Like they were destroying the city in America, and we kept seeing the footage here before the presidential election. And after that, it has been kind of just silent. But I believe it's yesterday here. I saw the news of this black supremacy guy car ramming into the U.S. Capitol, and he killed one cop there, and he was killed instantly there as well. That's the suspect. The suspect died too. But yeah, I heard about it, and I heard about it through the expert here in Japan on American politics. He's on Twitter and he understands English, so maybe you guys could, like, if you have questions and you need like expert opinions, then maybe you can ask him. But I retweeted his tweet, and he was talking about how it's a black supremacy guy. Like he's a the suspect was the worshiper of the National something Islam, the organization, and then he car rammed into the Capitol. And the expert was saying how Biden administration is trying to focus on white supremacy, and like the resources are going there, and at the same time they are trying to get rid of the bias towards the crimes committed by black people. Like the connection, the people associate black people and crimes easily, like that's what they believe, so they're trying to get rid of that, but that is ending up in letting black people commit crimes. Like the US Capitol, this car ram thing is a good example. So that's something that our expert was pointing out. So it was very interesting to me. So I want to know your reaction to that. How do you feel about the Biden administration getting credit for the vaccine distribution? Yeah, are they getting the credit? I thought that at first it was like China's idea. I don't know. Oh, super chat. Thank you. You are supposed to eat chocolate on Easter. Seriously? Every day is Easter then. I don't know. Are you supposed to? I don't even know. What are you supposed to do on Easter? But thank you for your super chat. I appreciate it. This is what I do for a living. I mean, I'm a wife. So this living is something that my husband is trying to, make sure that it is there. But my husband is a political activist too. So that means that we both spend money to do political activities. Like we actually, speaking of which, we will be visiting Tokyo soon again, like after a month, last month, early last month, we visited Tokyo. We stayed there for a week. And of course, we are paying all the hotel fees and like all the accommodation or whatever. And it's a plane ticket and so on. We live in Fukuoka Prefecture. Fukuoka is about an hour and a half by flight to Tokyo. It's like a 1 hour and a half away. And coming back is like nearly 2 hours. But yeah, so we have to spend money on that. And yeah, we really appreciate all this like super chat and your support on Patreon and everything. Thank you. Okay, I skipped Oh, this is a politician friend from Okinawa. I say hello to him. I don't even know if he's still watching. It's like 10 minutes ago. But yeah, he is former self-defense force, and like he belonged to self-defense force, and I believe air. And he's now a politician in Okinawa. So I have lots of politician friends. So Yeah. Let's go back a little bit. I was surprised to see Halloween stuff when I was in Japan. Japanese people love to cosplay. It's so good that it was a positive side of this COVID-19 situation because now you can't party in Shibuya area like in Tokyo. Young kids show up like and they just gather like lots and lots of people and they cosplay and they lots of there. And so after the night of Halloween, the city is so like it's full of trash and garbage because people party hard. And so there are kinds of people that party hard and the people those who come to clean up the place the next day. So like there are two different types of people there. But yeah, so it was a problem, and especially when foreigners got mingled. Yeah, it's not like, of course, like there are many different types of foreigners here, but there is this one kind that party hard and do whatever the heck they want, and so they were flipping the car and so on. Like they were doing like riots kind of style. Like they went crazy, and it became a problem too. So now it's all gone. So it's good. But yeah, we do see all these Halloween products and everything. Yeah, different calendars. Yes. March 24, Japanese health minister recalled drinking an all-night party in Tokyo after telling us here to wear masks, social distancing, staying at home while they can show their hypocrisy. I know. But I don't know though. I don't really thought, I didn't think of that as a problem much because politicians' job is to meet people and just have meetings, and it sounds nice when you hear like, oh, they were drinking, but it was actually it's a job, like in it, that sort of like casual drinking and so on, politics shift. So it's like politicians are a special thing in my head. So I don't know, it depends on like who you ask, but just I don't know. I just hang out with national. It's not like hanging out, but I have meetings and so on with National Diet members sometimes when we are in Tokyo. And so what happens is that we hold an event, like political event, and then what happened like a month ago was that we held this event to establish our politician like National Diet group to work on the Southern Mongolian issues. And it's the first thing in the world, actually. But yeah, National Diet group. And then we have the event, and after that, National Diet members, like good friends, like they're good friends, and those who have distances and so on. But good friends, like close people among the National Diet members, I saw them gathering around like 4 or 5 people, and they were discussing what to do from now on about this, like all this Chinese related stuff. And it's not the meeting itself that it changed the things, but they discussed things and they kind of decided the direction casually. And that's like my husband and I, we were witnessing that, like, oh, that's where that's when and where the politics change. Like that's how things happen, so it's the same for drinking and so on. When National Diet members gather and so on, it's when things change. So yeah, so I don't it's so hard to say, like, oh, politicians, of course there are some greedy people too, so just enjoying their rich people type of life, so I can't generalize, but so I have mixed feelings about it. Is it already humid in Japan? We are getting cold now here in New Zealand. Oh, New Zealand! It's the opposite, right? The weather. It's getting humid, yes. I think it's raining outside. Yeah, it's been really hot yesterday. It's from yesterday, I think. Yeah. Hi, Yoko. Do you have Telegram? Not yet, but I think I should get on that. Yeah, Sasa. Do you think there's a chance Japan won't allow unvaccinated visitors? I don't know. I have no idea. Because I don't know what's happening right now. Because people, I don't know. Is it completely closed right now? I don't even know. Because there is always a way to sneak in and out. So it's hard to tell what's going on. Any news on the EMS shipping outside of Nihon? Oh, I haven't looked into that. It's supposed to change or whatever a little bit, like when you send stuff. From what I heard, like a while back at the post office, you have to put like if it's a product that you're sending, then you have to print out the label. Like was it a like invoice type of stuff? I think like you can't write stuff by hand. You have to print out. Like, it's so weird. Like it was during a Trump administration that decided that. But 今大学で日本語を勉強しています。素晴らしい。頑張って。Studying in Japanese university. Amazing. Hello, Yoko. China and European Union have had diplomatic rows over the last few days. It seems like even those who didn't care much about China are more and more intolerant to its stupid moves. Yes, Europe is rocking. Europe is doing great lately. So I'm really thankful because if you look back in history, it's always the ties with the Europe that kind of messed up, or I don't know, like I shouldn't blame them, but there's this geographical aspect that let it happen. Like there are bad people here in Asia, and then the European people didn't really care because they were so far away, and they don't get harms from doing the business with the bad guys here. So especially China, like people in China. And yeah, so that has been the problems, but that's great that now things are changing. However, though, one thing that we, especially my husband and I, keep it in mind is that China has a lot more allies than we do, surprisingly, in this world. Like, especially if you look at the UN, and I think it's a Human Rights Council, actually, that they dominate the votes. And we, the free world, don't have as many allies. So we are powerful, but we don't have the number because we are big countries. And the CCP, they go to like small countries, and give money, and they make them their pets, and yeah, they use the numbers. So we need to counter attack on that, I think. Okay, let's go faster. Yoko, who is the most conservative woman in the Japanese politics? Me. Just kidding. I don't know. It's the most famous conservative woman in Japan will be Yoshiko Sakurai. Yoshiko Sakurai. She actually, I hear that she's fluent in English. Like she went to a university in Hawaii or something. Like she's very smart, and her background is journalism on TV and so on. Like she was an anchor and so on. But yeah, she's very powerful, close to former Prime Minister Abe and so on, Yoshiko Sakurai. But she even didn't like President Donald Trump when the election was happening, like in 2016. I think people have told me that she said that Hillary is good for Japan or whatever. So like sometimes she is just messed up in what she says, but she's an icon. She's like Jinin Piro of Japan in a way, like where she stands. But women here, conservative women here, are not really conservative. It's either they want attentions from males or they are biased. So people like myself are very rare. I'm self-praising. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. Yoko, hello. Nice to see you. First anime I watched was Konpeki no Tai, The Deep Blue Fleet. Huh, never heard. Never heard, sorry. My father went to Japan decades back and taught English to a Japanese politician's kids. Oh. He really likes the Japanese and their culture. The politician gave him an expensive watch on his last day. Wow, awesome. Yeah, rich people. Oh, that's great. That's very interesting. I lived in South Korea right when the Park resigned and Moon took over. Wow, crazy time. Then I moved to Hong Kong and China took over. But look, wow. I don't know if it's a bad luck or good luck. Like you get to witness all the history. Wow. You are all over the place in East Asia. Yeah, so racism is bad, right? Yes. I've been watching this Netflix show called The Bold Type. It's meant for like young girls, probably like for teenage girls. And it's about fashion and romance, but it's so political. And it's like, it's about a magazine. It's called The Bold Type. And yeah, it's like three women and they're working for this fashion magazine. And yeah, it's like it's so girly and everything, but it's so liberal that it's funny for me. Like it's so fun. It's not funny, it's fun and interesting, actually interesting. And it's not as bad as you expect. Like they actually have, like, politically speaking, they have this balanced discussions inside of the show. So it's very, in a way, it's very eye-opening, and also I get to learn what it's like to be on their side and so on. Like the world that they are seeing, I get to learn what it's like, so that I'll know like, you know, what to think. But yeah, they take up all this racism and Islamophobia, and yeah, actually one of the characters is now running for the election in New York and so on. So like it's getting interesting for me. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, young girls watching that, yeah, there are like lots of gays too on the show. I have no, like I'm not Christian, and in Japan we are very tolerant towards all these gender things. It's just we can't just tolerate when it comes to marriage, you know, like same-sex marriage or LGBT marriage. We don't allow that to happen because our home or family values is what defines Japan. So we are not tolerating that. But other than that, like socially and culturally, just generally, we don't care. You know, we rather enjoy all this like different genders and so on. So it's good. But all these young girls watching the Netflix show, it's actually well written, like entertaining and so on. So I'm just picturing like young American girls watching that show, and I just hope that they're not influenced in bad ways, you know. But America is great because you guys have Hallmark movies. Oh, those are so nice, so cozy, and so peaceful and so on. But yeah, Gordon Chen should be president of the U.S. Interesting. Yeah, he's great. He's so interesting because when you just see him hanging around, he's so quiet and you almost think that he's mad or something. But when he goes on stage, he's just super great, like logical, and speaks so great. And yeah, I enjoy his stuff. Okay. Sorry for the question, but are Japanese people hesitant or scared to say the N word like everyone in America is? I don't think so. I don't think so. Japanese people are so savage. Like, so, okay, so I'm in political field, and at the same time, I'm in a gaming field nowadays. And in both areas, people are so mean to each other, and they say whatever they want to say. And they just, especially on social media, they don't have their identity shown, so they can be really cruel and so on. And and also about racism or racial issues, we are Asian, and what that means is that, like, it's not like we can't see things objectively. So yeah, we just say things. But some people, I don't know. It really depends on like each person, though. Like, I guess that N word is supposed to be kind of insulting. Um, yeah, it really depends, I would say, because white people get called out too. Japanese people are not as nice as you think. Okay. Oh, do I see a super chat? Okay. Go down. Oh, baby DC, thank you for your super chat. It's Yoko time. Yes, it's Yoko time. Yes. Thank you. You guys, go follow him. He is on Twitter. Not Twitter. He's on Instagram. And he holds a live streaming shows. I'm supposed to collaborate with him, and I suck at managing, so I say keep in touch, and I never do. Sorry. I am so sorry. But thank you for your super chat. Eat chocolate bunnies on Easter. Seriously? That's a thing? That's a thing. What was I reading? Oh, yeah, around here. Easter is said to be the day Christ rose from the dead. Oh, that day. Cool. I watched a few Christian movies, and I actually liked them. I forget the names, but every time I think I talked about it on YouTube or Twitter. And I am still new to like Christian values and so on. Like, I have no knowledge about Christianity, and I am willing to learn. So yeah. Yoko, is hunting allowed in Japan? If you have a license, I think. I don't know what people do, especially in countryside. I don't know. I live in like a suburb area, and I was living in the city before, so like you have no ties with hunting culture if you're living in that sort of areas. But yeah, I think people do hunt though. Yeah. What about Asian racism? Asian racism. It's so hard to think about it because I have never lived overseas and I spent my entire life here in Japan. And so the kind of racism that I think of is the racism about, like, it's the racism between Japanese people and South Korean people. That's the hot racism here in Japan. That it's always about Japanese people versus South Koreans, because there are, I think the number is declining, but 600,000. Yeah, 600,000 Koreans were here. I think it's probably like 500 something now, but yeah. So there are like the South Koreans have they're kind of powerful politically too. So the right wings here hate South Koreans. So I was almost falling into that trap, And so like because I wanted to talk about historical disputes and what you call that, 領土 I forget the word. So weird. But all these disputes with South Korea, I was so frustrated that our government was not insisting what we had to insist, and like we are being passive. So I started to talk about those, and then part of me was leaning towards the racism against South Koreans. So I had to pull myself back, to give a balanced way to of like perspective. But yeah, our right wings are so like out of hand. It's so the way that our right wings hate South Koreans is similar to American right wings or alternative all right people hating on Jewish people. Like it's the same to my eyes. It's like in every country there's some kind of racism like that those people are running the government, and that sort of like a conspiracy theory and so on. And yeah, if I say that about Jewish people, some people get offended, but I haven't I'm friends with Jewish people and everything, so yeah, I just don't like racism. Okay, let's see. Easter we go to church, then eat loads of chocolate. Oh, so you really do eat chocolate. I'll be eating chocolate then. Cool. That's a cool day. Eating chocolate. Yeah. I was stationed in Misawa Air Base 2004. My guy's job was to dive in the nuclear reactors to repair. Whoa. They said back then the bosses told them only fix the small cracks. Huh, interesting. Interesting. And that's cool that you are here. I've never been inside of the US bases here. I want to go so bad, so badly. I went close to the one in, I believe is Nagasaki, like Sasebo, but I didn't get in. But they sometimes, like the US bases here, sometimes have a day when they open the space, and like they have some kind of, it's not a festival, but like they have events. So I have to go, but I keep missing. Like it's out of my radar recently, but that's a good reminder. I should go. But probably not nowadays due to COVID-19. Damn. I heard there's BLM protests in Japan. What does BLM have to do with the Japanese government exactly? But communists, man, it's the communists here that are doing that, because it was interesting. There were several BLM protests here in Japan, right when the movement became big again in the US. And in my prefecture, Fukuoka, there was a BLM protest too, and I looked into that. And so I saw like their event page or event tweet or whatever, and I checked the people that liked the tweet of the organizer, like, oh, we're gonna hold this event, the protest, and I saw that who favored it, and then I saw like Japanese communist people, many of them liking it, and I could instantly tell, like, oh, but I think there were some kind of other powers too, though, supporting that. I forget which power, but I have lots of information routes. people tell us who's behind and so on always. So yeah, but just I think the leftists here just wanted to show that Japan is on their side, the same side as the liberals overseas, just like I do with conservatives. Like I talk about American stuff because I want to make sure that we're on the same page, and that like Japan sometimes or often gets forgotten by the international community, I feel, because the West is like America and Europe and so on, like they are, I don't know, like from my perspective, they bond so well, but Japan is like, it's so Asia, so far away, and I feel like we might get forgotten. So I'm like, hi, I'm here, and this is what Japan thinks, and I am like yelling on the internet. So yeah, I think that leftist people want to do the same internationally, and also the what's behind the leftist movement here is that they are working, not all of them, but core people that are agitating, they are working for China, like CCP, or others are working for North Korea. So, or it could be South Korea too, but it's like outside of our country, and they're working for those people, or resulting in working for them, either way. So they use any chance or opportunity to attack Japan's power. That's why they are against our nuclear power plants, and that's why they don't want to revise our constitution. Yeah, and they always talk negatively about Japan. They want to destroy our family values, and they want to disconnect us from our proud history. They attack our country so that they can give this to other countries. And so that's the pattern. So whatever the topic is, they just use whatever they can to attack our own country. Yeah, it's so silly. Like, left people are supposed to be smart. They study hard, and they're like so-called intelligentsia, and they're so intellectual actually. But it's so crazy. Like, if you are that smart, why can't you see the big picture? They're so good at learning about what's in front of them, like memorizing and learning the patterns and blah blah blah. But they're so like narrow-minded. So like, I'm like, please be smart. Yuki. They have professional hunters do some singing, and if I am correct, yes. Oh. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Lots of emoji. Okay. I have a 19-year-old daughter. She just got out of high school. She told me, if you talk bad about other races, you will be isolated from other kids. Oh, interesting. So you can't talk about, like, it's all political correctness, or else you get you have to, like, you get to be you get isolated from other kids. Oh, wow, tough time. So you can't but I feel like it's like Japan. Like, in Japan, we're so savage, or like we're so harsh online, especially with like anonymous accounts, but we're so like super nice to each other in person. And that's because we hide whatever we are thinking, our emotions, our opinions. We never talk about that in order to like prioritize the relationships that we have in real life. And so what happens is that people get, like, it's all political correctness actually, in a way, that we don't talk negatively about other people, or even if we get angry about who's in front of you, we don't say like, you suck, like F you, like we don't say that, right? So then we go online and we're like, this person is this and that, and I experienced this and blah, 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 blah. So that's what happened in Japan. So I kind of know what it's like, but it's so awful though about I don't know, man. It's human nature. Racism is bad, and I try to get rid of that myself, but at the same time, you kind of can't avoid human beings human. Because this is something that has been going on for thousands of years. And why do you think that we can instantly change that just because we say so? you know, very, very interesting. Mm, mm, mm. Racism. Because I see super chat. I'll check in a minute. Um, I work with, like, in my political activity. I work with, you know, agents from other regions, like Tibetans, Uyghurs, the Mongolians, Hong Kongers, not Taiwanese here, but Chinese people, like Democrat type of Chinese people too, and they have tendencies. They don't come on time, or they care about weird stuff, and like we have problems culturally sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, oh, these people, sometimes I feel like generalizing, but I think that it's attached to the culture, our cultural background, and it goes vice versa. Like, oh, like Japanese people get called, like, we are too precise, and sometimes that gets, like, it's too intense for other Asians and so on, and we have the negative image for that and so forth, and it's just vice versa, right? So yeah, but we do have tendencies, and I don't know what racism is anymore. Big topic. I want to talk about it, but first, let me check the super chat. Thank you for your super chat. Is it Won? Or, oh yeah, hi Yoko, you're a fan from Korea. Big hug. Oh, thank you, cyber hug. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really think that in the past I must admit that um I was taking all this my political views into the wrong direction. Like, of course, I do have my belief as a proud Japanese person, but I should focus on what we can do together with allies in our region. So South Korea, especially, is such a important country for us. But it's actually conservatives and right wings that I have to, educate that people, of course, as a country, there are things that we need to insist and so on, like, all this disputes, like historical disputes and so on. But rather than that, our lives are in danger. Right? Like both South Korea and Japan, we are threatened by communists, and against that, we need to form alliance and fight together. But we're so distracted by all these historical disputes and so on. And actually, I hear that CCP is agitating to divide Japan and South Korea, because if they do that, then they can swallow South Korea first and then come to Japan and exploit it and so on. So we need to outsmart them. So it's really nice that there are South Korean people watching, from there. Like, oh, it's a hopeful thing. So I really hope that we get to work together. Yeah, I do have South Korean friends here and in South Korea too, and yeah, they're very smart and very, like, they think about our feelings too. So like we have a good relationship. So yeah, I hope that there will be more and more friends like that. Okay. Oh, 15 minutes. So 10 minutes to go. I was late, but I think my husband just went out and got the lunchbox, so I get to stay more. Like sometimes I have to end at the exact time so he and I can go get lunch outside. So like he's like, end it now. He gets angry, but not today probably. Uh, okay. Let's go back a little bit. You've been to Hutsukaichi. Wow. Ramen was super great. Yeah, Hutsukaichi is like my area in a way. That place is my city, my original city. Do they not sell chocolate eggs in Japan? Traditionally, they eat everywhere in the West, to the point where obesity looks more dangerous than a pandemic. That's funny. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. Do they have that? Maybe they do now, but I'm not familiar. Have you been to Tsushima? No, it's one of the few places I haven't been in Japan. I've been to Japan so many times, I lost count of how many times I've been. Really? It's somewhere around 17 or 18. Whoa, that's amazing. You probably know more places than I do in Japan. I've never been to Tsushima. It's actually close from where I live, and people around me visit often, but no, not me. I should go though. Yeah. Most of the attacks on agents in the US have been pre- perpetrated by some in the Black American KKK community. Yeah, the MSM are framing it as a white supremacy problem. Yeah, that's a problem. Like, why? Like, why can't you just see what's happening as it is, right? Like, are white people that bad? Like, to be blamed all the time? Like, what did white people do to deserve this? Like, that's my simple question. Like, what did white people do? Especially the people today. And people always talk about how it was like back in the day, but you have no idea what it was like back in the day. The values were different. The premise of the society was different. And I don't know. I always have an open mind when I look at history. Like, yeah, like as Asian, of course, we learn like, oh, white versus colored people, like that picture. But at the same time, I talk to lots of like foreign people in Asia, like foreigners from other regions in Asia, and there can be some frustration. And like I can tell where racism begins. I'm a reasonable person. I'm a logical person, so I try not to, you know, expand my emotions or attach my emotion to my thoughts, so that I'm somehow calm. So I'm lucky, but I can tell how some people can become like, oh, like let's use these people for this and that, and like, yeah, because it's what happens when you don't share the same values or knowledge, especially knowledge. I think the education is the key. So for what I often think about racism is that instead of trying to tell everybody like, oh, stop hating each other and so on based on your race and blah blah blah, I'm like, just educate people equally, and eventually it's gonna just disappear, right? Like, I think that is the thing. Because when, like, I have black friends, I have Asian friends, I have white friends, and my friends share the same values or knowledge as me, and that's why we feel connected, and sometimes even culture. We share the same, when we share the same things and when we're on the same page, we just love each other, right? So when we don't love each other, that's when we disagree on values, or when we don't share, like when we think that someone is an outsider of our community, then we think like, oh, that's an enemy, right? So that's the bottom line of racism, in my opinion. So that's something that we need to get rid of. Right, the root cause of the problem is something that we need to work on. And like, we can say whatever we want on a superficial level, but that's not gonna solve anything, right? So why people are so hypocritical? Yes. Let's do something about it. Only rich owned slaves in the US during the slavery. Most of white Americans couldn't afford to own to own slaves. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, not all white people are rich. You know? Communists, man, they just point out all this, like, lucky people, like this 1% to whatever. Ah, and it's like, why? Like, I myself, for example, I'm Japanese living in Japan and I am suffering so much financially. You know, you guys support me, so I really, really appreciate it because I am having a hard time to make a living doing what I want to do. Mm. And but some people, the communist type here always blame whoever is making a living or whoever has money, and they don't even care about the efforts that rich people have made. Like some there are rich people that are just lucky just to be born in the family and have the business prepared, or they get to get educated and so on. There are lucky people like that, but there are also the kind of rich people that actually made efforts to go you step up and have the American dream achieved. So yeah, we need to think about all this, like all this agitation and propaganda and so on. We just get narrow minded or narrow sighted. So we always need to see what's really going on in the big picture, I think. You missed the whole show? Oh no! Because the time changed, or I don't know. Hmm. But you're here now. Let's stay for 10 more minutes, maybe. I hope my husband won't get mad. He's so Japanese. I'm Japanese too. I know, but sometimes I'm like, oh, why do you have to be so harsh? Like so like punctual and everything. Like his family background, he doesn't want to admit it, but it's so good, like good family with education, But I'm like so super relaxed, and both of my parents are like the youngest in their families, so they're spoiled. So spoiled kids got together, got married, had babies, and they spoiled us. And so I'm so spoiled. And yeah. Do you have an Instagram? I can link you to an Insta that keeps track of Asian hate crimes. Ooh, I do have Instagram. It's Random Yoko, just simply Random Yoko, and Insta that keeps track of Asian hate crime. Okay. Oh my stomach just made a noise because I'm hungry. Yes, yes. So follow me there or something if you can. I'm not really political though on Instagram. Or actually not political at all. But yeah, because I'm using the gaming field and also Instagram to survive as sort of an influencer. I guess that my political side might get one day removed out of nowhere. So I need to have a place to survive and get in touch with you. So I have a gaming channel, Random Yoko Vlog. It was a vlog channel, so it's vlog, but it's a gaming channel. It's only in Japanese, but and Instagram. But if you are there to give me information, and just for that, then link me. Thank you. Have you watched 中学生日記 or 魔女の条件 or other J dramas? Is it the 中学生日記? Is it the NHK one? If so, I have. It was my favorite when I was little, I guess. 魔女の条件 sounds familiar, but what was that? I don't think I saw 魔女の条件. My parents didn't want me to watch TV much, or no, it's actually myself. Yeah, in junior high school, I made a rule. I was so smart, coming to think of it. I set a goal, like I will only watch TV until like before 7, like 6:30. the or seven. Yeah, seven, I think. Yeah. So after that, I didn't watch TV because I thought that I should study. I didn't really study, but I just didn't want to make myself stupid watching TV. That's the thing that we kept hearing when I was young. That if you watch TV, you're gonna become stupid. That's the phrase that we have. That phrase, if you watch TV too much, then you're gonna be dumb. And I believed in that. So, and I had to study for school, like homework and so on. So I just watched like kids show, like starting from 6, and then at 6:30 they aired like foreign TV shows, like American sitcoms and so on, like Full House and Alf and blah blah blah. So I was watching that in Japanese though, and yeah. So I'm not familiar with TV drama as much, like our own shows. Yeah. Nowadays, though, I keep watching Netflix shows, so I know a lot on those shows on Netflix. Are the North Koreans in Japan weirdos? Uh, there are people that escaped from North Korea and they're working so hard in our country. So they're amazing. They like can you imagine escaping from North Korea? Like not everyone makes it. And yeah, sometimes when they thought that they got out, they get sent back by being betrayed and so on from the people that they thought that they trusted. And so there are people like that here, and I don't know about others. I've never met. Yeah. And South Koreans too, like, people, like, politically speaking, people say bad stuff about South Koreans, especially right wingers, but just ordinary South Koreans here are just living like the rest of us, Japanese. So it's not even like, again, it's not about the race or the background. It's about the determination of politics, like what they believe in. So yeah. I think Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea should come together to combat CCP's maritime aggressiveness. If Taiwan falls, Senkaku Islands and Okinawa Islands falls. Yes, I agree. I agree. Taiwan, Taiwan. Japanese conservatives though love Taiwan. We love Taiwan. I don't know about Taiwanese people. Like, I don't know if it's mutual, because like conservative people focus on the friendship that we had with Taiwan back in the day. Like, Taiwan was Japan before, and for Taiwanese people, it's probably not a good time. I don't know, like common sense speaking, but we have movies about the friendship. Like, it's not even friendship, it's like family. Like, we regard Taiwan as brothers and sisters. So it's really, our feelings is very 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 close. And Taiwan is always the country that whenever the earthquake hits here, and we have, or like heavy rain and so on, whenever there's a natural disasters, it's always Taiwan that reaches out to us like really, really fast with lots of money. And so yeah, like we love Taiwan. And right now the what's called is it the Minister of Defense? I think is or what is that? Like or Taiwan? Yeah, I think it's wait. Let me see. Yeah. Minister of Defense right now is Yoko Ishii, and he's the brother, like bloody brother of Shinzo Abe, our our former prime minister, the brother. And he has this, our current Minister of Defense has strong ties with Taiwan. So the fact that he was appointed for the job speaks our stance against China. So that's good. Yes. So yeah, so Taiwan is close, but not South Korea. So man, I don't know what to do about South Korean situation though, because the election, the conservative side lost, but there will be, when is the election for Moon? Isn't it soon? Oh, next year. So we need to make sure that he loses next year. So this season too. So eyes on South Korea. Do you listen to Momo Rio? Wait. Oh, where's the comment? Clover Z or been to concert? No. I'm a metalhead. So I love progressive metal and thrash metal. So I don't know about J-pop and so on. Yeah, I'm a weirdo, man. I like metal. I love American culture and English, and I love FPS games, first person shooting games like Call of Duty, mobile only. Like I have some softwares, the PS4 DVD or whatever it's called. There, my viewer sent me, but I haven't played on PS4 yet. But I've been playing Call of Duty Mobile, and yeah, I'm like a little kid, little boy in a female body or something. I'm straight, but that's what I feel like sometimes. Yes. Okay, I need to go like very, very soon. Yeah, all this alliance sounds good. Yes. My husband is actually the vice president of what we call, or what we named, Free Indo-Pacific Alliance. And it's taken out of Free and Open Indo-Pacific Strategy, which is used by Japan and America. And it's it's not governmental, it's just us activists getting together, but it consists of Tibet, Uyghur, Southern Mongolia, and Taiwan. And what about Hong Kong? Hong Kong is not there, right? But Vietnam, and yeah, we have this network, and we're fighting, we cooperate as an alliance, so that's good. And then we need to expand our network. Japan, no action always. I know. I'm so frustrated. Like, I don't know what to do though. Like, I think the first step is we need to be strong in elections, because conservative voices are not reflected because we're such a minority, and conservative people here always just blame others. Oh, leftists are doing this and that, or oh, our politicians are corrupted and blah blah blah. But no, the reality is that we are so weak in elections. We don't have our candidates. I mean, we kind of do, but they're not elected because of us. So yeah, we need to be powerful in elections so that politicians listen to us, right? They will want to get votes from us, and we will be able to give pressure to them. But conservative people are kind of emotional people, and they just jump on whatever that sounds good. So whenever people agitate, like, oh, CCP is bad, let's destroy them, blah, and then people are like, yeah, and they get they write books or something, and they sell so well, for example. And I don't do that. And that's why I'm not very popular among the conservative community here, because I don't tell what they want to hear. I state facts and actual like information. So it's boring for the customer type of people here. So yeah, it's been really tough for us. you know? Um, yeah, so that's why it really helps though that you guys are there and I have this community and you guys are there to support me, and that is giving me this unique background that, oh, random Yoko, she has a following from overseas, and that's, even though my numbers are not very good like compared to other influencer in the political community here, I do have this uniqueness thanks to you guys. So that's why I can still be in the community, I mean in the political field. So yeah. Mm. Okay, who is your favorite Japanese rock band? I don't know. I hear metal band Loudness was good, but I don't know. I don't listen to our own music. The reason why is because Japanese language doesn't go well with Western rhythms. I'm such a musical person and I love my language too, but it just doesn't, it's just weird to my ears when I hear like Japanese language on like it's not matching because it's different. It's just different. I think too much. But like Japanese music goes well with, for example, this genre called enka, like our kind of traditional way of singing, kind of singing. I have no idea if you got the picture, but yeah, there. Just look up enka, enka, and that's our like a Japanesey way to sing, and that I like. I'm not familiar, but I think that's like musically it's great. But as other than that, like other genres are weird. It just doesn't match to match in my ears. Mongolia is sandwiched between China and Russia. Not easy to get actively involved. Yeah, it's really tough. What's interesting is that yeah, there's a problem that Southern Mongolia is oppressed by China, like they're colonized by CCP, Southern Mongolia. But Southern Mongolians have many of them have escaped in the world, but their second language is actually Russian and not English. And especially those who are here in Japan, the Southern Mongolians that we work with, they don't speak English. And that has been the problem, and they can sometimes complain like, oh, why do we not get covered as much as the Tibetans or Uyghurs? And I'm like, that's because you don't speak English. None of you speak English, so that's a problem. So but we tell them, but they don't even get translators, so that has been the problem. So yeah, and there are those who are in America though, so some Mongolians in America do speak English, but it's rare here in Japan. So yeah, but I think but Mongolia, the north one, is doing the best they can to help Southern Mongolians, I think. So yeah. Oh, Wagaki Bando. Oh yes, they're not bad. I've actually met them. I can't show the picture because I don't want to cause any trouble, and I don't think that their management office lets me share too. But I had a friend who is really close to the band, so I one day went to their concert and then met them, took a picture and so on. Yeah, they're good, but I myself was a musician in my world. I was not. I just like to compose music sometimes, and I'm like, I can do better than them, and I have this competitive mind. So, but they're good, I guess. Yeah. Mm. Tom McDonald is a good independent American artist. Interesting. Tom Tom McDonald. Is it the same guy that you guys keep telling me? Or Canadian rapper, singer-songwriter? Wrestler? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Oh man, I need to go. I love you, Yoko. Oh, thank you. I love you guys too. Yoko, why don't you work full time as a candidate? Because I'm so spoiled. Because I wanna sleep. It's the worst excuse, I know, but like I'm such a nerd who is a night owl. Like I'm active at night and I'm not a morning person. And also I'm a female, so the time of the month thing just, makes me slow and so on. And I have ups and downs and I just don't trust in myself, you know. And I love the freedom that I have. Like I'm more of a expressioner, than I don't know if I would make a good politician. I could be a good journalist maybe, but yeah. Politician type is a little bit different. Like it's a different species. Anthem. Oh, the band you guys are talking about Anthem. Interesting. Okay, I should go now. So yeah. Anthem is what band is that? Oh, it's a Japanese metal band? Huh. Interesting. I should listen. Yes. They have to be really good though, because I'm all about technical stuff. I'm so severe when I listen to music, whatever it is. I'm like because I know music, like how it's composed and so on, and also the performance wise, I expect like professional musicians to be beyond my levels and so on, and really strict. Anyway, thank you guys. I need to go now. I don't want to go. I suck at saying bye, but I have to go. So I'm gonna go now. Thank you for sticking around. Next week, what's gonna happen next week? Oh, next week is we're going to Tokyo, so I don't think I can hold this. Yeah. Oh no. I don't know what's gonna happen, but next week you might not see me, but I'll think of the alternative and so on. Or I might just skip. I don't know, but I'll let you know. So if you miss me, follow me on Twitter, @Miyako. And also I'm on Instagram. I started to kind of post pictures on Instagram now, so follow me there if you can. And where's my Patreon stuff? Oh. Follow me or no, support me on Patreon if you can. Those who are rich people. Special thanks to my patrons. Yeah, my Patreon is not active, I must admit, but if you support this type of things, I am Man, see, I want to start like live streaming like more casually and more often to hang out instead of going fully political. And I want to, give you guys this chat room where you can interact with Japanese people and so on. So yeah, expect that to happen. And if you want to, if you feel like supporting me, please support me on Patreon or here on YouTube. Okay, and also let your people know that there's this woman called Random Yoko in Japan. So yeah, okay, bye bye guys. Waves back. Bye, good night. Have a good night, guys. See ya. See ya. Yoko Tomo makes videos with your views. Oh, cool. Thank you. You're student energy. Okay. Okay, gonna go. I'm gonna cue the outro and go. Bye. Where's the outro? Bye.